In this video we're gonna create our second global state that is gonna be the examples state. Right now we only have one global state, that is the users state, and this is part of the API front-end project series, so you can check out this in the playlist. And I have open MongoDB. This is the database. Okay, so I only have user 1, user 2 and 3. Okay, so we have some information about the JSX, so we have some information about the rules. So we have also the create a scene thing, we have the create a slice, we have the use effect, we have the use navigate, we have the reducers, the extra reducers, and we have the use selector. So we are gonna go into the terminal. I'm gonna press ls, I'm gonna go into my folder, so I'm gonna go into my folder name express, and again ls again, and I'm gonna go into API like that, and then just code space that so I can open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we can close the backend, control plus tilde, so we can open our incorporated terminal, and I'm gonna run npm run examples. So this is gonna be our server, our backend. And if you go into the package.json, maybe yours is different, so you just need to go into your script. So mine, I have this script named examples that is gonna be opening with Node-man, so that is the reason I'm doing npm run examples for the backend. And in the second terminal, I'm gonna open a second terminal, and this one is gonna be for the front end, so it's gonna be npm run front, and I'm just gonna press enter, and it's gonna send me to the localhost 3000. And if we go into the front end folder, if we go into the package.json of the front end folder, as you can see, we're gonna have some scripts, and I'm gonna have the start, build, test, eject. So okay, no, that is the package.json. But if we go into the package.json of the root, if we go into the scripts, I have this script here, front, so that is the reason I am able to open localhost 3000 from the root, so I don't have to go into cd front end and open it from the front end folder. So we have that. Up to this point we can go into the Redux here if you have installed the Redux, and as you can see, we have the global state user. This is our only global state, so we want to create a second one that is gonna be examples. But first of all, I'm gonna log out here, and okay, so I have the login and I have the register. Okay, so as you can see right now, we are not logged in, but I can see the home page. There is nothing in the home page. If we go, I'm gonna close this. If I go to the source, if I go to the menu, and if I go to the home page, there's nothing here. So we are not logged in, but we are able to see the home page. So I don't want that. I want to be able to see the home page only if we are logged in. So let's start working in the login in the home page first. So what we are gonna do is, so we are importing React from React, so that's fine. We're gonna import the use effect. So let me see the use effect, and we already saw the theory about. So the use effect is a React hook that lets you synchronize a component with an external system. So we have the use effect setup and the dependencies. So let's import it. So we're gonna go here, and it's gonna be import, and we open curly braces, and it's gonna be use effect like that, and we are gonna bring it from, so single quote, and it's gonna be from React like this. And make sure that you use camel notation for use effect. So we're also gonna bring use navigate, so we're gonna import use navigate, and this one is gonna be from the Redux like that. and no, it's gonna be from the React router down, so it's gonna be from the React router down, like that. So we have the use effect, use navigate, and now we're gonna have the use selector. So we're gonna import the use selector like this, and this one is gonna be from, let me see, this one has to be from the Redux, from React Redux, like this. So we can save it, and again, so we have use effect here, we have the use navigate, the use navigate hooks. The use navigate hook returns a function that lets you navigate programmatically, for example in an effect. So here we're using the use navigate, and they're returning to the session timeout. So that's that. We have the use selector, and okay, so this is an example. We're importing the use selector, and we have here this example. So here in the function, and this is pretty similar to the login into the register. So here in the home page, what we are gonna do is we're gonna initialize navigate. So we are gonna go here, we're gonna have const okay, we're gonna have navigate, and we're gonna initialize it to use navigate, like that. This is a function, so we need parentheses. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our users, so we're gonna destructure it. So we're gonna have, we can go here, we're gonna have const, we're gonna destructure, and we're gonna destructure users, and it's gonna be from the use selector. So it's gonna be from use selector, and inside of the use selector we're gonna have an arrow function, or just a function like this, that is gonna take as an argument, or yeah, it's gonna take the state. Okay, oops, it's gonna take the state, and this users here is coming from the state that users, and users is our global state. If we go here into the Redux, we only have one global state, that is users. So we have that. Let me see, we're grabbing the users from the use selector. Okay, state. Okay, so now we have that is the use selector. As you can see here, we have just an arrow function, and we're grabbing the state, and this is coming well, in this particular example, is coming, this counter is coming from the state.counter. So you have that. And now we're gonna use the use, let me see, we have the use selector, use effect, yeah, use effect. So we're gonna go below, and we're gonna have use effect, and inside of the use effect, inside of the parentheses of the use effect, we are gonna have an arrow function, like that. And inside of the curly braces, we are gonna have some code here. So we're gonna say if there is no user. Okay, so if there is not users, so we're gonna do something, and this is gonna be navigate. So we're gonna navigate, so single quotes slash, and we're gonna navigate to login, like that. So we have that. And what else we have here? So just after the curly brace, and just before the closing parentheses, we need to have our dependencies, and the dependencies is going to be the brackets. As you can see in the use effect here, like we saw it, we have the use effect, the setup, and then as a second argument inside of the parentheses, we are going to have the dependencies. And the dependencies in this case is just going to be the users, and this one, since we are using it, this is going to be the navigate. So navigate, and we're going to save it. And let's see home page, and we can change this home page for examples, like that. So we can save it. Let me see. And what else? Okay, so let's refresh it. So navigate, let me see if I go to localhost 3000. Okay, so let's log in, and I only have 3 users right now, so let's log in with user 3. So I'm gonna go with the email is gonna be user 3, the password 1234. Let's send it. Login is pending, login is fulfilled, so everything went right. And here in our global state we have our only global state, that is users. And if we go here below in the users, we are having this token, so everything is fine. We have here in the actions, and we are able to go into the navigation. So right now we have login successfully, and that is the reason that we are able to see the home page. And right now there's only this home page, for example, so that is the reason we are able to see. And yeah, that is because we are login. So we have that. And what else we need? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the home page. Later we're gonna working with some CSS. So right now we're gonna go into the features folder, and we have users folder inside of the features folder, but I want also, let me see, I want another folder that is gonna be examples. So it's gonna be examples like this. So we're gonna have two folders inside features. One is gonna be users, and the other one is gonna be examples. So this is pretty much similar. So we're gonna have examples, and it's gonna be slice with camel notation, and it's gonna be JS. And yeah, we're gonna have a server, so I mean a service. So we're gonna go here and just examples service.js, like that. So we have these two files in the examples folder inside of the features folder. So if you see our user slice, is pretty much similar. We need to create a slice and create a synth, and it's gonna be from the @Redux JS/toolkit. So let's go into the examples slice, and we are gonna create a slice. So we're gonna import, and it's gonna be create a slice. So we're using camel notation, create a slice, and we're gonna be create a synth. So it's gonna be create a synth. Okay, so it's gonna be from, and it's gonna be from add Redux. Okay, this one, add Redux JS/toolkit. So we're bringing the create a slice, and also we're bringing the create a synth. So we can save it, and we kind of saw the theory about it, but you have the create a slice here, a function that accepts an initial state, an object of reducer functions, and a slice name, and automatically generates action creators and action types that correspond to the reducer's end state. This API is the standard approach for writing Redux logic. Internally, it uses create action and create reducer, so you may also use immer to write mutating immutable updates. And you have an example here both in TypeScript and also in JavaScript. So we have that. And okay, so we also have the create a synth, and we can check out the overview real quick. The create a synth, a function that accepts a Redux action type string and a callback function that should return a promise. It generates promise lifecycle action types based on the action type prefix that you pass in, and returns a thank action creator that will run the promise callback and dispatch the lifecycle actions based on the return promise. This abstracts the standard recommended approach for handling async request life cycles. It does not generate any reducer functions since it does not know what data you're fetching, how you want to track loading state, or how the data you return needs to be processed. You should write your own reducer logic that handles these actions with whatever loading state and processing logic is appropriate for your own app. So you have that, and yeah, pretty much this is an example. So we are importing here and create a sync thank and create a slice, and we're bringing it here, and you can follow these if you feel lost. So we're gonna go back to our file. So maybe no, this one is fine. So what else do we need? So we're gonna create our initial state. So it's gonna be const, and it's gonna be initial state, again camel notation, and we're gonna set it to an object, and this object is gonna have the name that is gonna be examples, and we are gonna set it to, for now it's gonna be an empty set of brackets. So now we're gonna have the same as the user slice. So we're gonna have, we can copy, so yeah, we're gonna have the s error, so it's gonna be s error, and it's gonna be set to false, like that. We are also gonna have s success, so it's gonna be s success. We are also gonna set it to false by default. We are gonna have s loading, and we are gonna set it to false. And finally the message, and we're gonna set it to an empty string. So let me see, we have that examples, we have s error, s success, s loading, and message. So that is our initial state. And let me see, now we're gonna have our create slice. So we need to export export const, like that, and it's gonna be examples, s slice, and we are gonna set it, and we're gonna set it to create a slice. So it's gonna be create a slice, the second one here, and inside of the parentheses we are gonna have the subject, and we are gonna have the name, and the name is gonna be in single quotes. It's gonna be examples, so it's gonna be examples, like that. And as you can see here, it's pretty similar, well, users slice, so it's pretty similar to, let me see, to this user slide. We're setting it to create a slide. We have the name, we have the initial state, and let me see, so below that we're gonna have our initial state. So it's gonna be initial state. Okay, what happened? Oh, okay, I need a comma here, so we're gonna have a comma. And what else do we need? So we have the name, initial state. We're gonna have now the reducers, so we're gonna have the reducers. And again, just a refresher, so here we have the reducers, an object containing Redux case reducer functions intended to handle a specific action type, equivalent to a single case statement and a switch. The keys and the object will be used to generate string action type constants, and these will show up in the Redux DevTools extension when they are dispatched. Also, if any other part of the application happens to dispatch an action with the exact same type string, the corresponding reducer will be run. Therefore, you should give the function descriptive names. This object will be passed to create reducer, so the reducer may safely mutate the state they are giving in. So we have that, and as you can see here, this reducer is set to this function named reset, and here we're gonna have an object and this reducer, and again we're gonna do pretty much the same. So we're gonna have this function named reset, and here we are setting it to the state, and we have loading, success, and error because the user has to persist in the local storage. But for our examples, we only need pretty much an error function here, and this error function is gonna take the state as an argument, and to the right of the arrow we're just gonna have the initial state. So we're gonna set it to the initial state, like that. So we can save it, and let me see. Okay, so that is that, and now we need to export the reset function and also the examples slice. So first of all, we're gonna export const reset, like that. So we're gonna export it, and to do that we're gonna have to use the examples slice dot actions, like that. So we can export the reset, and finally we're just gonna export default. That is gonna be this one, default, and it's gonna be the examples. It's gonna be examples slice that reducer, so it's gonna be this one, and we can save it. So we are exporting. When we export a function that is inside of our created slides, we need to export const the name of the function, and then examples that action. So this one, whatever name has here, you have it here, you have to put it here, and then that actions. And then we have the export default. We are exporting this function examples slice that reducer, so we have that. And what else do we need? So we have that. Let me see. So we have the state, we have the create async func. Okay, let's close it. And okay, this is the user slide, so we did pretty much the same thing. So let me see if we go into the, if we go right now. Oh, okay, so we need to go into the app and we need to hook it up into the store. So right now we can go below here and just import, and it's gonna be users reducer. No, it's gonna be examples reducer. So camel notation from, and it's gonna be up one level, and again it's gonna be in features, and it's gonna be in examples this time, and it's gonna be in examples slice. So like that, and inside of the reducer we are gonna have examples, and we are gonna set it to examples reducer like that, and we can save it here. Let me see, we can save it. And if we go into our Redux, let me see what happened here. Okay, compile problem, reducer example okay, they give me an error here. So store.js unexpected token. Let me see what happened here. Okay, so features. Oh, okay, so I miss a comma here. So okay, I'm gonna save it, and let me see. So okay, the backend is fine, the front end is fine. So let's go into our login. Okay, so we're gonna go into our Redux, and as you can see, we have two global states now. We have the users global state, and since we are logged in, we have the token. So we have, it has been fulfilled, so we are successfully logged in. So we have the users global state, but now more importantly we have the second one, that is the examples global state. And again, we have, in this case, in the users global state, we have users, and this user is showing only the token. And now here in examples we have also examples, but it's set to empty brackets because we have nothing yet here, but we just created it. And is error, a success, is loading, is set to false, and the message is set to an empty string. So we have successfully created our second global state, that is the examples state, and this is in the front end. Right now we need to hook it up with controllers, and as you can see, inside of the controllers we have the users controller, and this is how we create a user, how we sign in the user or log in. And now we have a second file that is example controller. So from here we are gonna pretty much create examples. That is pretty much what I thought at that moment, but it can be definitions or whatever. But pretty much the thing is, you log in and you start creating something, and you can log out, and the purpose is you are the only user that you are able to see what you are creating. So we have that, and let me see what else how do we need here. Okay, so we have the store.js, and let me see. Okay, so we have some, okay, that's one now. Okay, so as you can see in the MongoDB, we have the users. So here we're gonna see our users, and we also have, as a collection, we have the examples. So we have nothing yet because we still need to work on it, but eventually we're gonna have examples, and those examples have to be linked to a specific users. In this case, I only have 1, 2, 3 users, user 1 to user 3, but that is that. And yeah, and for this video we use the use selector, we use the reducers. We didn't use extra reducers this time. As you can see, if we go into the features folder, if we go into the users, if we go into user slides, in this case we use the extra reducers because we are working with the pending, fulfill, and rejected. But in this case the user has logged in and is supposedly starting to create some examples, some definitions, or whatever. So we have that, and we use the use navigate. So when we are logging, so right now I am in localhost 3000, and I am logged in, so I am capable of see, or I am able to see the home page for examples, and you can see the 2 global states, user and examples. If I log out, I shouldn't be able to see the home page. That is only says home page for example, because that is the only thing that I have in our, if we go to menu, if we go to the home page, that is the only thing that we have. So we need to work on it as well. We saw the use effect with the setup and the dependencies. In this case we only use the users and the navigate for the dependencies in our users. Let me see, it was, yeah, no, in our users, in our example servers slice. Okay, so no, it was in home page. In the home page we only use users and navigate as our dependencies for the use effect. So we also use the create slice and the create async thunk, and that's pretty much it for this video.